Let us have an understanding on using Apache Pig interpreter with Zeppelin. Before that, we need to have a quick understanding on what is Apache Pig. It's an Apache project which abstracts the complexity of writing MapReduce code within the Hadoop ecosystem. It uses a language called Pig Latin, which is going to work on top of Pig. Pig Latin is very easy to understand. It is like an English-like language. So anything that I represent within the Pig Latin, the Pig will be transposing that code into bytecode instructions equivalent to what we will be getting as a part of MapReduce program, and I can execute the program within the Hadoop cluster. So anyone who is not familiar with the Java program or writing the MapReduce program, they can use Pig. Learning the Pig Latin language, it's very easy and simple. It can be done in a day or two. And Zeppelin provides a Pig interpreter where I can provide the instructions and do the processing against the file available as a part of the Hadoop ecosystem. I'm going to start a new notebook and I'll be binding the Pig interpreter with the keyword Pig. And Pig works with the lazy model in the sense the moment I give the instruction, it's not going to get executed. Only when I'm executing any query or whenever I want the result to get displayed, then the execution will happen. We call that as generation of the DAG cycle and executing it in a lazy way. I have some sample files as a part of movie lens datasets within my HDFS location. So I have a sample dataset which is hash delimited and it is available within the HDFS location in a folder ml-1m-ztp. Within this I have the file ratings.t, users.t and movies.t. I'm going to use the Pig interpreter and load this particular file. So I'm going to read this particular file. I'm going to use hash as the delimiter. Then I'll be getting these particular elements. I can generate this particular element in the order that I want. I can use the other statements like for each of the elements within the user. This we call it as a relation, which looks like a variable. In Pig world, we call it as a relation. The same way I'm going to read the ratings data, movie data, all that I'll be collecting it using the for each statement. Then I can use the query that I want. Within Pig interpreter, I have a prefix called query. I'm going to group the user data based on the gender. That's going to get me the result based on how many number of records for the gender female and for how many records for the gender male. However the way I want, I can visualize the data. So using Pig query, however the way I want, I can write the query. Now let us mix the dynamic form and write some additional query. Here I am going to filter the user data based on the age, which is less than the max age. I'm going to have it as a dynamic form as a part of paragraph, and I'm going to group based on the age and get those values displayed. So I do have the data less than the age 40. I can do any type of visualization, or in case if I want this to be less than 60, if I want to pick, I can change the value as a part of the text box and change. This is where the dynamic form is going to be very useful. I don't need to go and change the code. I can provide this as a user input. Dynamically user can provide the input. We have got the result for all the age less than 60 and that have been charted as a pie diagram. I can pick a sample data, that is 1% of the data from the user data, and any further analysis if I want to do, I can do. So this will be the example for sampling. I can do the join and group by n number of query I can use. Apache Pig is a very powerful data analysis tool where it can be used for many of the ETL process, where it can be used to handle any type of data, whether it is structured or semi-structured. I can use Apache Pig. Now with this data, whatever the visualization I want, I can do. For each of the occupation, what do I have? So any such visualization I can do with the Zeppelin. Let's do some couple of queries where I'm going to do the join between the user data and ratings data based on the user ID, and I'm going to group based on the gender, and I'm going to display this particular user. For each of the group, what is the average rating they had provided. This is a quick summary on how to use Pig interpreter as a part of Zeppelin. So what's the average rating provided by each of the user? However the way I want, I can visualize. And the pig interpreter, by default it comes with the Zeppelin, and any configuration to be done against the pig interpreter we can do over here.